When you hear the word mummy, ancient Egypt often comes to mind. Mummification was used for thousands of years for laying their deceased to rest. But did you know, not too long ago, that a mummy was discovered in Wyoming? In October 1932, while digging for gold in the San Pedro Mountains, Carbon County, Wyoming, two prospectors, Cecil Main and Frank Carr, blasted their way through some thick rock that a large vein of gold continued into. When the dust settled, they saw they had opened up a small room, approximately 4 foot tall, 4 feet wide, and about 15 feet deep. This is where they said that they first saw the mummy of a tiny person. This first mummy was examined using X-rays which determined that it was the body of an anencephalic infant whose cranial deformity gave it the appearance of a miniature adult. A second mummy examined by University of Wyoming anthropologist George Gill and the Denver Children's Hospital in the 1990s was also shown to be an anencephalic infant. DNA testing showed it to be Native American and radiocarbon dating dated it to about 1700. According to a July 7, 1979 article, the first mummy started debates over whether it was a hoax, a baby, or one of the legendary little people. The mummy ended up in Meeteetse, Wyoming at a local drugstore where it was shown as an attraction for several years before it was bought by Ivan Goodman, a Casper, Wyoming businessman. The mummy was then passed on to Leonard Wadler, a New York businessman, and its present location is unknown. Seeking to prove evolution wrong, an offer of a $10,000 reward was made for the person who finds the missing mummy, according to the Casper Star-Tribune. After Pedro was lost, it wasn't until the 1990s that another discovery was made. After an appearance on television, Gill was shown the mummified remains of a baby-like human. The Native American family that presented these remains had kept this mummy in their attic for generations. Her arms and legs were folded in the same way as Pedro, which was seen as a direct connection between the two. Gill examined these mummified remains on 3 separate occasions, and he deduced that these were the remains of a little girl, and claimed that her birthdate was somewhere in the 1500s. Gill also presumed that because of the stark similarities he observed with the burial procedures, that Chiquita and Pedro had a connection that went beyond their religious beliefs. With the suggestion that these two unique cases of mummified remains being closely related, and believers of the theory of the little people were quick to use this as an example as well. These legends go back in time throughout the Native American culture in the area, and the story leads people to wonder if these tales may be true. Called the Nemerigar, the stories that are told mention these beings to be around 3 feet tall. Throughout the Wind River Indian Reservation and the mountain ranges in Wyoming, stories of these beings describe them as magical, and were gifted with the healing arts. Even though they are described as possessing these abilities, they are depicted to be violent and were a threat to the local people. The name, Nemerigar, is said to mean, people eaters, further stressing the fear that the locals felt around these creatures. Stories of the Nemerigar are aplenty within the local culture. It is said to be a bad idea to make any of them angry, because they would attack the people who frustrated them with poisonous darts. There is also a story in Native American mythology that directly relates to the condition of the heads of the mummified remains found in the area. Nemerigar also reportedly killed off the local community members that suffered from old age or sickness, and they were said to have done this with a blow to the head. The discovery of Chiquita in the attic of the Native American family also raises the question as to why this family made effort over a span of 500 years to protect these remains. This draws connections to different after-death ceremonies throughout history around the world, which believe that mummification will help in certain ways when a person is set to encounter the afterlife. Pygmy remains have caused speculation for ages, and the discovery of these beings creates direct connections to folklore which was previously believed to be fiction. It is also speculated that these could be alien remains due to their head shape and body shape, but most theorists let go of that idea when it is revealed that these are in fact human remains, which causes a whole new set of questions to arise. So, before today, did you know mummies were discovered in Wyoming? What are your thoughts on this? Drop a comment and let me know. And as always, thank you for watching.